Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content now, we'll talk about BTC. We'll talk about BTC on a macro view and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few weeks or even like a few quarters, right, going forward. Because our macro analysis regarding the directional move all the way up to 180K doesn't care about like a BTC dropping 10% or like a 15% and all that good stuff. What I'm looking at is like I'm looking for the directional move, meaning like if you take a look at BTC since like a 2009, we haven't yet closed a yearly cycle below our previous yearly lows. Meaning like if we take a look at BTC on a yearly basis, right, on a 12-month basis. So if you take a look at BTC since like 2009, right here, every single yearly cycle, okay, managed to stay above the previous yearly low. Okay, meaning like right there, we've been making what higher lows since like what, since like 2009. So it is quite incredible. So if we, if like I'm expecting a similar price action over the next like a few years and so on, I'm not expecting BTC to close the 2022 yearly cycle below 30K. Okay, I'm not expecting BTC to close below 30K this year. Could it close below 30K? Absolutely. We will take a look at it on a monthly basis and all that good stuff, right? So if we take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, what we've been saying over the last few months since like December was like, since like our 3D time frame is bearish, right? Price action open and close a 3D candle below the 3D 21 EMA. So we most likely going to be looking for our next macro support all the way down to the monthly 21 EMA or the weekly 100 EMA. We hit both targets, right? So now, what is the most probable setup for BTC? Okay, so we know retesting the monthly 21 EMA, it is not a good sign. I said it like a couple months ago, right here. Couple months ago when BTC was just above like 55 and all that good stuff, 57, I was like, the macro view, it is still bullish. However, retesting the monthly 21 EMA could be very challenging for the bulls, because whenever we retest our monthly 21 EMA, like what we did back in 2018 right here, we dump down to the 50 EMA. The 50 EMA, it is our blue line right there. Okay, we consolidated nearly for like 3 months, 4 months before we broke out all the way up to 14K area. So you take a look at it right here, back in 2019, right? Early 2020, we consolidated for nearly 4 months and then basically dumped below the 50 EMA. If we could anticipate a potential a potential move just like what happened back in 2018 and 2020, we could say, hey, the range of 33 35K area could be a very very strong support over the next like a few months and all that good stuff. However, if we break it, we could be relying on what, on our monthly 50 EMA right there. So our monthly 50 EMA right now, it is just about like a 24K area, 22K area, depending on volatility. It is most likely going to be pushing higher. Okay, so if BTC stays sideways for for the next like a few months, let's say till mid 2022, definitely the 50 EMA going to be progressing and most likely going to be supporting the price. So that's a bearish setup regarding BTC on the monthly up to the quarterly basis. The quarterly support, it is not even 24K. If we take a look at BTC on a quarterly basis, right, you can see right here our quarterly support going to be at 30,000 area. 30,000K going to be our quarterly support. Last quarter, we talked about how important it is for BTC to stay bullish, even though the rejection was pretty significant, and we said, okay, we just don't want to close below 44K. However, after we open the yearly cycle, we most likely going to be dumping down to our monthly 21 EMA. So it is quite important to keep an eye on BTC on a quarterly basis. If we close above 30K before before April, that's going to be great. Okay, let's say by April 1st we manage to close above 30K, our quarterly 21 going to be pushing higher again, because we just don't know, once again, how long we're going to be staying in this range. It could be a macro sideways correction where we retest like 30K and push back up to like a 60K, and even manage to get another bearish rejection right here. Okay, so if we get another bearish rejection, we could be saying, hey, we're most likely going to be retesting the low 30K again. So we just don't know once again how long BTC will be staying in this range of 65, right, to 30K. So that's what I'm saying. 30K area, right? It is going to be our first macro support if we break out below the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so the secondary support going to be the weekly, not weekly, but monthly 50 EMA right around like a 24K area. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC regarding the upside directional move, which is why we're making this video and all that good stuff, right? So if we take a look at BTC on in regard to the Fibonacci and all that good stuff, what we've been saying was like, if we basically pay attention to our Fibonacci, we know 0.786 was a very important key area for BTC back in 2013 right there. Got a big rejection right around like 1100 range, right? So back in 2020 right there, we got a big rejection right around like 20K above the 1-to-1 extension. And what we were saying was like 57K, right, going to be a big level to keep an eye on. And if you take a look at it, we did not break out on a quarterly basis above 57K. So what we're looking at right now over the next like a few quarters, it could be like Q3 or even Q4 2022. If BTC manages to close above 57K, our next directional target in terms of Fibonacci going to be 180. I'm not saying like a BTC will basically get rejected at 180 and all that good stuff, but all we're saying is like the directional move, right, going forward, because we know on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis, everything is up. BTC, it is still in a, it is still in a very, very strong bullish trend on a yearly basis, quarterly basis, or even the monthly basis. We're still above the monthly 21 EMA. So since like everything is pointing up on the macro view, we could be looking for the next Fibonacci right here, 1.27, 1.41 extension, because 1.41 extension actually, okay, 1.27 is our rejection area right now at 57. So we don't want to basically focus too much. We don't want to basically focus too much right now on 1.618 extension. It is too high. It is all the way up to nearly 900,000 to a $1 million. I don't think we will get there anytime soon, but we could at least, okay, focus on the 180, right, to 200K over the next like a few months and all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's take a look at BTC in terms of RSI. If we take a look at our RSI, we know whenever we retest our trend line support right here on the RSI, it is right around like 50, mid 50, okay, 55 to a 50 range. It is going to be a support. Sometimes we can dump below it, okay, just like what happened back in 2014, 2015. We moved sideways, reaccumulated right here below the RSI. If you take a look at it back in 2018, a similar price level right there. Could we basically dump right here and reaccumulate for like a few months before pushing back up above the trend line support slash resistance? Absolutely, it could be possible. So keep an eye on the RSI, which basically could coincide with BTC retesting the 50 EMA on a monthly basis. I'm not saying the 50 EMA on a monthly basis is going to be going to be the bottom and all that good stuff, but we know if we retest the 50 EMA on a monthly basis, what we tend to see is what it is going to be a potential reversal. If you take a look at right here, back in 2015, we got support right around the 50 EMA. We got a big support. 2018, a similar price level. 2020, similar price level. Right there, so we could get a similar price action at the at or around the monthly 50 EMA and all that good stuff. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover regarding BTC. Just to recap it, our monthly support just about like the monthly 21 EMA. Our secondary monthly support going to be just about like a 24K mid range support 30K area. Okay, our RSI, if we dip down below the 55, all the way down to like nearly 43, 42, 43, 42 area, most likely we're going to get some strong support right here, and that could coincide with BTC retesting the monthly 50 EMA right around like 24. All right, so the upside target, it is still all the way up to 180 to 200K area over the next like a few quarters or even like a few years and all that good stuff. And once again, guys, it is not a short-term analysis, so I'm not expecting like BTC to go all the way up to 180 next quarter, or even like in 2022, it could be like Q1 2023, or even like a Q2 2023. But the main thing we just have to remember regarding BTC, we should not be looking for the bottom, because if you're looking for the bottom, you're most likely going to be buying the top. If you take a look at it right here, the BTC bottom was right around like 150. So even if you bought BTC around like $300, you already, you made like nearly over 3,000% gain. Okay, so the BTC bottom right there was right around like 4K. Even if you bought BTC around like 6K, you already made 8,000% gain by selling all the way up to 6,000. So if I'm expecting the BTC bottom to be right around like a 24 or even like a 30K area, I'm still okay, because I'm looking for BTC to push all the way up to 180K within the next like a few quarters and all that good stuff. So reaccumulation, anything below the monthly 21, it is going to be a good level for the bulls to basically reaccumulate some BTC going forward for the next like a bull cycle all the way up to 180 or even higher. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.